Welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to share with you the 3 characteristics of the blame-shifting narcissist. I'm also going to share with you 3 solutions so that you can move out of that disempowered position and feel completely empowered and also free from their blame in the future. I'm going to give you some techniques so you can dodge all of that blame. Now, before we get started, interestingly, whether the person is a narcissist or a person attracted to the narcissist. So you have the narcissist here and you have the person who's been in a relationship with them, is in a relationship with them, or, previously, both use these exact same techniques. They both have these exact same characteristics of blame shifting. The only difference is that the narcissist will most often do them from the falsely empowered position, and the one who's with or attracted to a narcissist will do them from the disempowered position. So they're both the same. They just do it differently, and I'm going to show you how. So what are the 3 characteristics? Real quick. First, irresponsibility. The second is victim manipulation, and the third is reality or victimhood manipulation, and the third is reality detachment. Now I'm going to break down all 3 because if you're watching this video, most likely you're not a narcissist. You're the one attracted to them, and you're here because you want answers, because you don't want to be this way. And that's also the separator. The narcissist, they like these techniques because it keeps them empowered. They want to hurt. I don't know that I'd say that. Their actions make you think that, but they're so hurt. They hurt others, but they don't want to give this up. Those attracted to them, they don't want to be this way. They just aren't aware that they are this way. But once you watch this and see this awareness, most of you will do the work. And that's the separator. The narc, they won't do the work to heal. The disempowered, who manipulates the same way, they don't want to. They'll do the work to heal. So let's start with the first one, the irresponsibility. Well, what do I mean by that? Ultimately, both the narcissist and the one attracted to the narcissist and how they blame shift each other is both are trying to stay the child. Because a blame shifter is a shame shifter. Shame is something that is placed into us in childhood because all of our parents are perfectly imperfect. And so if you have been with a narcissist, the only reason you ended up with a narcissist is there was tremendous shame in your childhood. Tremendous shame is what creates a narcissist, among other things, but that's at the core of it, is a horrifically deep shame core. Well, it's the same holds true for those attracted to a narcissist, all right? They are mirrors of each other operating in polar opposite ways. So neither side got the complete nurturing that they needed. And so ultimately, this is what's heartbreaking about both sides. And this is why I have tremendous empathy. I know many people don't have empathy for the narcissist, and what they don't realize is they're so stuck in their own shame, they don't have empathy for themselves. And they keep pointing the finger at the narcissist. That's blame shifting. They don't see it, that their shame core is just as deep, and that's why they're doing it. And here's why. This is why both do it. Ultimately, the shame-shifting blame shifter is stuck in childhood, and they want the other person to be the parent they never had. That's why they're irresponsible and trying to stay the child. They are stuck in a childlike state. It's called the wounded child or the adapted wounded child. And so the first thing I'm going to suggest to you is you head over to my YouTube channel and you watch my video titled How Toxic Shame Creates the False Self, because both have separated from the authentic self. One's falsely empowered, the narcissist. The one attracted is disempowered. They've lost themselves because of the shame they experienced in childhood. And in that video, I show you how simple it is. It doesn't take horrific parenting for this shame to get dumped into us. Now, for these two to be attracted to each other, it's a lot of shame. But I show you how simple it is. Just pictures from my childhood, my mother holding me as a child, and I show you how this shame happens right there. And that's how it works for all of us, okay? So that's the number one, the irresponsibility. Ultimately, both the narcissist and the one attracted to the narcissist are trying to stay the child and irresponsible And do you see why? Because if I'm irresponsible, I'm a child, and that means you can heal and fix this problem. You can be the parent I never had. And that's what blame is about. And here's why. Number 2, victim manipulation. Whenever we are blaming somebody, think of all the fights you've had with friends, family members, lovers, whatever it is. It's a race to the bottom. Who is the bigger victim? Well, what you did is worse. No, what you did is worse. Well, I wouldn't have done it if it wasn't for you, right? Boom, boom, boom. I'm the bigger victim. And do you see why? What did we just say? Irresponsibility. You see, if I'm down here, if I'm the biggest victim, I get to blame you. I get you to be responsible to fix this. And this is why it's victim manipulation and a race to the bottom. Because do you see, if I'm down here, what do I get? What do we get? What does the victim always get in any culture? Power and control. We are heavily rewarded because I can be down here, and every culture celebrates the victim, right? And rightfully so. Like, don't misunderstand me. I'm not advocating that, we somehow don't point out that people were hurt. That's not, don't take my words. Professional victims are going to take this video and spin it like I'm this cold, heartless person because they were shamed so heavily. They're trying to stay on the bottom and get somebody to take care of them. They're hoping the world will come in and rescue them. Like it's not I'm not shaming them. I see you. I see what's happened to you. It's horrific. What's sad is you don't see it in yourself, and we'll get to that, number 3. You don't see what's happened to you, and that you're playing the professional victim to try and get someone to be the parent you never had. How could I ever judge you for that? Or the narcissist? That's horrific. Now, it doesn't condone behavior. They're still responsible. See, I'm holding everyone responsible. Do you see? Like, if you look at all of my videos, I am pushing truth and responsibility. I am advocating everybody. You can't play the victim in my world. None of us can, because it leaves us in purgatory and death. It leads to the loss of our soul. We never achieve our greatness. We never can find love or operate from all the positions that we want to with that mentality. And so, because in our culture and every culture, victims are celebrated. They are better than the perpetrator. Do you see? So if I'm the bigger victim, do you see what it does? It covertly and manipulatively puts me on top of you. That's why the one attracted to the narcissist, this is the disempowered victim position. I'm down here getting destroyed. And it's true, you're getting horribly treated. But I'm above you because I'm not like you, as I blame you. I don't leave. I don't join a program, hire a counselor. I don't do anything to heal myself. I stay down here so I can manipulate and control and point out to the world how I'm better than you because I'm not like you, as I'm doing exactly what you're doing, controlling, manipulating, and fighting, and victimizing you because you're not responsible for my choices. I'm choosing to stay here. I'm doing this to myself, yet I'm trying to make you responsible. I'm begging you to be the parent I didn't get. That's not their job. Once we get out of adolescence and become an adult, it's our job to go become the parent we never had. It's our job to heal that. That's why I do these videos. I'm teaching all of you how to be the parent you never had. That's it. I'm making you experts in healing your pain. That your parents, because they were perfectly imperfect and they're human, they left in you. And unless we do this, we end up in this position. So do you see, if I'm the victim and what you've done is worse than me, then any of my poor behavior is excusable. Do you see that? I can get away with it because I'm the victim. And that means I don't have to be responsible. I get to stay the child. You have to be the parent I never got. It works incredibly well. Well, no one ever What it works is to give us the same power and control that the narcissist has. What doesn't work is we never get the parenting because no one can give us that. That's over. It's gone. This is what's tragic. It's gone. None of us will get the parenting we yearn for. That ship has sailed. We have to get into recovery and do the mourning work, the grieving work. We have to mourn the loss of our childhood, of our innocence, and that our parents hurt us. We're in denial when we're down here and blaming the narcissist, and the narcissist is the same thing, in denial, blaming us, trying to get us to be the parent that didn't abuse them. Both sides are just screaming. They're so hurt. And they're trying to excuse their behavior. That's what's happening here. My suggestion, so you learn more deeply about this, is head over to my YouTube channel, watch my video, What is the Falsely Empowered Victim Position? Because narcissists won't really watch me, but those that do watch me, many of you have been with narcissists, and you're here, just like me, the falsely empowered. And for those of you who really want to argue with me, you're really entrenched in this. And you're really convinced you're a victim, and you aren't filled with shame, like you're so detached. That video will really help you. But now my goal is, hopefully in this video, to bring you into reality. And let's get to number 3, reality detachment. Both the narcissist and the person attracted to the narcissist or in a relationship with the narcissist think that they know who they are and what they are saying about the situation is right. But both do not know who they are, and both are not in truth. They are both in really pretty deep self-deception and denial, and they can't see it. They wouldn't agree with it. It's just like, what? What's this? Do you see? Do you like my new champagne glass? You see? I drink wine out of this, right? It's a coffee cup, right? That's a reality argument. This is the narcissist and the person attracted to him. They don't see this as a coffee cup. They see this as a champagne glass. That's how they see the world. It's that skewed because of the shame that they're stuck in that hasn't been healed. But they're convinced. They're certain that the sky is green. You can't convince them that they are not in reality. But that's what they had to do because the shame was so severe for both. They had to detach and create a false reality. And so, the narcissist has lost their soul, their view of the world, that they're omnipotent. All of this is just, we can all see how false that is. The tricky one is us down here because of the victim position, because it's celebrated and it's righteous. It's just better than. Neither is better, both are hurt. Neither is worse, both are hurt. Both hurt in different ways, and they hurt each other in different ways. This is hurtful. Manipulating from this position is very hurtful, and this side does not want to agree. They are not in reality that they're hurtful from here, and that they control and manipulate, and that they're staying the child, and they're trying to get everyone to be responsible for their life. That's hurtful. To ask the world to take care of me is hurtful. We don't want to own that when we're down here. Okay, and you hear me say we, because I still get stuck here too. Now, much less than I used to, but that's my go-to. Not so much here. I get falsely empowered, but mostly I get disempowered, all right? I'll just throw myself under the bus. I'll admit it. I caught it. Facebook has been showing less of my material lately, and so I started doing these posts. I just freaked out because I can't help people. My numbers dropped like 70%, and I was blaming them. Well, I don't know that that's true. See, I went to the victim position, and the child in me got triggered, and I asked all of you to be the parent. Come rescue me. It's not your job. There was a perfect example of me losing containment and me dropping into the manipulative, victim position, because it looks so grand too. Oh, I'm such a great person doing all this stuff for free, and oh, Facebook is coming after me, and oh, please help me. Gag me. You know, like once I saw it, I mean, yes, I got that shame of, oh, Kenny. Oh, well, I'm going to do it a lot more. And that's what recovery brings you. You can get into truth and reality, see your perfect imperfection, take ownership of it, and go, how could it be any other way? My childhood was so shame-based, and so was yours. We're going to do this. It's unavoidable. The key is to learn the process, to identify it, work through it, and forgive yourself for it. Okay? So the person that's stuck in this, they've lost themselves. They are usually the narcissist is in the adapted wounded child. The one attracted can be stuck in the wounded child, but could also be the adapted wounded child. So there are two videos I want you to watch this, because this is the tough one. People don't want to admit that they're in denial, self-deception, and that they don't know who they are. That's the toughest piece for all recovery, is we think we know who we are, and I'm sorry, very few of us do, but we're certain we do. I wake up each day recognizing, even as astute as I am at all this, I'm clueless as to who I am. We all are. We're just too close to it, and there's just too much pain and shame in our lives. And I get reminded every day, just like that. I thought I was doing the right thing, telling you about what was going on with Facebook. No, this is, because I thought about it, I'm like, no, this is great. And then it hit me, oh my gosh, no, I'm totally in this, blame shifting. Just dumping my shame and asking you guys to be the parent I never had. It's not your job. So then I go through the process of making amends and telling you about it and owning it. That's what we do. So 2 videos to help you move down this path. One's called The Wounded Inner Child. You'll discover how your false persona was created. All of us have done this. No one's immune from it. We've all created an adapted self in childhood. Number 2, codependency, the 5 core characteristics. How the falsely empowered and disempowered are out of reality. That's what you're going to see, is when you learn about codependency and the 5, low self-esteem, lacking in self-care, out of touch with reality, not in moderate, they're immature and immoderate. Like when you start seeing it, and yeah, if you go become an expert in this stuff, you get into truth. And that's the goal here, is to be the parent we never had. And the best way to be the parent we never had is to get into truth. And there's only one way to do that. We have to take ownership that our view of the world right now is false. It's not true. And the proof of that is, look at our life circumstances. Are you broke? Are you in a terrible relationship? Have you had a life filled with terrible relationships? Health issues? Like, look at the consequences of your life choices. For all of us, they're pretty bad, right? Even if we've accomplished great things, there's a lot of wreckage. Well, that's proof we're in self-deception and denial and can't see ourselves, because we're making decisions that destroy us. And so we have to get into truth. There's only one way to do that. We need new knowledge, because our view of the world, our knowledge of everything, created those disasters. Well, if I don't want those disasters, I need to do something about it. I need to change the way I view the world. That's why we have to do it. All right? Now let's get to the 3 solutions. The first one is this. Now, when the blame shifter comes at you, and many of the ways they do, one of the main ways they do this is they try and tell you who you are, right? What you think. You did this, you did that. I know what you meant this, right? That's the core manipulative technique that they use, is trying to convince you that what you said or did actually was different. They're trying to change your reality and go, well, I know you, or my gut instinct is never wrong, and that's what this really means. So I'm going to give you a magic phrase. Whenever anybody tries to tell you who you are, what you thought, what you felt, any of that stuff, the first thing you do is you check yourself and go, is it true? Is it true? In these instances where it's blame shifting, the answer would be no. It's what they're saying is not true. And so we hold on to our reality, and this is what we say in return. Thanks for sharing your reality. If you'd ever like to know what mine is, you're more than welcome to ask me. See that? I'm not arguing realities because, see, I'm not going to race to the bottom. I'm not a victim. Like, I'm not going to play the disempowered manipulative game and blame them and shame shift back and all that. No, I don't need to do it. Is it true? Nope. When I'm in my self-esteem and my codependence recovery is good, I don't need to argue with them. I just go, that's interesting. Well, thanks for sharing your reality. If you'd ever like to know what mine is, just ask me. I'd be happy to share it with you. Look at a lot of my comments. There are a lot of people who tell me I'm full of you-know-what. I don't know. I look at them like maybe, I know if I disagree, I'm like, well, my reality's different. I don't need to argue with them. I'm not going to change their mind, right? Because this is their view. They think the world and the sky is green. Well, maybe they're right. I think it's blue, but I've known enough that my reality can be wrong. So look, you'll see a lot of my comments. Thanks for sharing your reality. Thanks for sharing your thoughts and feelings. Big deal. They get to have their reality. I don't need to dive in there with them. That's the magic phrase. Thanks for sharing your reality. If you'd ever like to know what mine is, let me know. I'll be happy to share it with you. That'll get you out of that blame shifting, shame shifting. Number 2, put a recovery plan in place to heal your shame and your codependency. I would suggest to you that you pick up Pia Melody's book, Facing Codependence. I'd also encourage you to watch every single video I have on codependence on my YouTube playlist. Number 3, focus your recovery on stage 3. Is that 3? I was like, I put up 3 fingers. I'm like, did I put up 3 or did I put up 4? It just felt weird. Sorry. Focus your recovery on stage 3 and stage 4 of the worst day cycle. Stage 3 is shame. Stage 4 is denial. If you aren't familiar with my worst day cycle, I'd encourage you to pick up my book, Your Journey to Success. It walks you through the complete process. If you don't want to spend the money on it, that's fine. You can start by going to my YouTube channel, and I have a 5-part series titled Reclaim Your Authentic Self by Becoming Trauma Informed. Videos 4 and 5 deal with the shame and denial portions of the cycle. I really encourage you. You won't really follow unless you watch all 5 of them. That'll help you. Now, all of those suggestions and solutions are for those of you who are getting ready to be ready to recover. And so I don't mean this disparagingly. Many of us, this is part of the recovery process. We're getting ready to be ready to recover. And so we watch a video here and there, and maybe once in a while we take a note, or we do a little bit of stuff, but we just watch a video, oh, that was good, I like that, make a comment, move on with our day, kind of think about it, maybe make some changes, but we're not really doing the work. Doing the work is a lifestyle change. It's a daily process where I go, that's it. I'm not going to watch TV and binge from 7 o'clock till 10 o'clock. My TV time doesn't start till 9 o'clock or 8:30, whatever. Or I'm not going to sleep in till 9 in the morning. I'm going to get up at 8 from now on. We make a plan. We're done. We have burned the boats. I will never be with a narcissist again. I will not watch my kids suffer anymore. I will not suffer anymore. I'm done with this codependent stuff. I'm done with this victim manipulation, all these different things you watch and hear that I talk about. You're done. Well, for those people, now is your time. For only $47 a month, you can subscribe to learn my complete emotional mastery method, which walks you step by step through this whole process. This is for people who are sick and tired of being ready to be ready. They're done. They're ready to do the work. If that's you, go to my website, www.thegreatnessyou.com. It's right there. You'll see, I'm going to put a picture up and give you the direct link. Subscribe today. put the work in. It's really simple. It takes about 15 minutes a day. Watch one video, answer one question in the journey book. You don't even have to do it 7 days a week. If you can commit to 4 days a week doing that process, 15 minutes a day, I guarantee you, your life will transform like that. If you go to, when you go to the website, you'll see I've given you some quotes of some people. And this was fascinating. A woman I was texting Facebook Messenger, and she was bouncing between should she do that or should she book a private session. And she said, so if I'm understanding this right, 7 months of the classes would be equivalent to like one coaching session, right? And I'd never thought about it because my hourly rate for coaching is $350 an hour. And I'd never thought about it, but as soon as the question came in, I was like, oh no, my master classes, if you go through the full process, it's literally like getting 150 to 200 private 1-hour sessions with me. This is a tremendous value. Everything I've learned is in there. Every single question is teaching you how to be me for you. Like, for decades, I've been writing, trying to figure myself out. Well, I didn't realize I was teaching myself how to put this program together. And that's what's in there for you. And so you can stay getting ready to be ready, watching a video here and there, and your life still stink, and you can keep waking up broke and terrible relationships and lonely, and use your dog instead of, or cat instead of meeting people, and all the different things that you do. That's fine. I've spent time in that place myself in my recovery. But if you're done, if you want the life you're meant to live, for $47, like $1.57 a day. I'm sorry, if you can't commit to yourself, invest. Like, do you see what we're asking here? Shame. I'm not worth $1.57 a day. That's what you're saying. Well, my heart breaks for you if you're still stuck in that shame. And my prayer for you is that one day you recognize, I'm done. I will not let my perpetrators keep this belief in me. I'm going to do whatever it takes to get rid of this shame and stop blame shifting and all the different things. So there you go. If you think this video can help somebody, please share it. Leave me your comments. And as always, enjoy the journey.